Hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work with trash again, specifically paper bags and takeout paper bags to be even more specific. So I'm going to show you a little bit of something you may want to try to do with those. I had to get out a bunch of these different little dies. My friend Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy, she sent me these. They were the newer ones of the Tim Holtz dies, where you had a one that did file folders and slides and that kind of stuff. I think she kept that one, but she sent me some of the other ones that made some really great little guys. I made these little tabs myself, but I cut out the collect and the numbers. I had a special delivery. There was arrows. I mean, and there's umpteen little numbers. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, this is actually going to be a challenge. This is for my collage week 2 on Mrs. Paints-A-Lot's page. I guess you could consider the whole thing my project, but I could just say the front will be the collage part. But then the things in it was photo, and I've picked out this little guy. I think you've seen him before long ago. Lace, numbers, brown paper packaging, and coffee dyed paper. That's going to fit in really well with what I'm going to do here. Well, another thing I wanted to show you was what I'm going to start calling a care to share. You know, we had the sneaky peeks. Well, no more sneaky peeks until I get closer to like maybe 1500. Or, you know, when I get another journal to do, to give away. But the care to shares are in my shabby chic journal here. I showed this the other day in a video. And today, and I showed that one because I know I did that rip paper. Ah, a little interesting page. Okay. So what we have here is a pharmacy bag. I don't know if you can see it underneath of there, but what I'll do is this is the bottom part of your bag, and I'll take it and then I'll turn it around and flip it up. So when you take these little goodies out, like I can take the first two out and you can see, you have the edge of the bag sticking up, which creates me a pocket here. And I did these crazy little tags, you know, to put in it. And then you have one behind, which, you know, you can decorate your back page if you want to. That one has like a butterfly and a postage stamp kind of a deal. And then at the very, very back is a large tag with these Tim Holtz people and some ephemera from his stuff. And I put Honolulu 1955. I even inserted a suitcase there. So anyhow, you can do something really, really fun with some of this trash that you get. I'm just amazed. So this works in really well with what we're doing today. Then this piece is a doily that I put inside. I have this issue with doilies that are in journals. And what it is a flop. And they're useless. I mean, you can decorate them a little, but they're useless. Now, I did this little heart. I think I don't know if I posted that on my Instagram or what I did, but I called it my Unbreak My Heart cluster. You know me. I'm coming up with crazy stuff. But yeah, it was a little heart I cut out. I had a crackle stamp I put on top of it. And then I sent them out in some happy mail, I think. But anyhow, the thing with the doily. So I've got a Velcro dot holding it shut, but I covered the back side of it. So you can't really even see it there. If you wanted to do a contrasting color behind it, that would be great. If I used a little pink, that would have been very pretty, like a pale pink. But yeah, now you can write on it. So it's useful. This thing here was a piece of like hand-dyed paper I got ages ago. It had like leaves in it. And there was different colors per page. But anyhow, so I roughed up the edge of that and put that on here. And I thought that worked out really nice. Okay, there is your care to share. I hope that gave you a few ideas for some of your future journals and things you're wanting to do. Now, I'm kind of all over the place with this setup here. Oh, I was working last night, getting all this prepped. Oh, that was a lot of prep. And then I had to make up me a little dummy piece here. Because I don't know if you have seen these accordion books in the past, but you go, and usually you'll do every ½ inch. You'll score every ½ inch. You go over 4, score every ½ inch, and then you have another 4 inches at the end, and then you fold it back and forth, and you have a little booklet. So it would fold like this. Now the items you'd put inside, sometimes it's like journal cards, but you'll glue them on this strip, lead strip here. And the way it holds together is you actually get back here on the outside and you're gluing inside of each one of these. And it holds it together like a nice little spine. It's very strong. If you didn't like that look, you can always cover it with a little piece of lace, maybe a piece of ribbon, whatever you would like to do. So I've got a piece of paper here somewhere that is going to be my base that I'm working with. Here are the paper bags. As you can see, I like McDonald's. I have a Kentucky Fried Chicken. I think it's another Kentucky Fried Chicken, maybe. I'm not sure what that one is. Anyhow, so that's what I've got. They are a little different. So the 2 smaller ones will be on the inside of the McDonald's bags. Now here's the bag. And I was going to show you how I do it. I don't cut it at this right here. I cut it down here at this. So you would basically pull back your pieces and you would go in there, and I try to, and sometimes you have to shape it up, you know. You always have to usually trim and fluff and all that kind of thing. And you try not to cut through. You don't want to do that, but you have to get into here to the other one, which is making it difficult for me right now. There. You can always trim later. And you've got a faint little line there that you can go by where it's been folded in the past. There we go. And then I'll just go in this way. Well, maybe I'll go in this way. You can get in there some way. There, we'll just rip it from there. And then I use this part of the bag. Ugh, I'm doing that for emergency sake. But I use this part of the bag, the inside, I'll cover the back of tags with. And it works great. You can write on it. It's got like a grungy look. Now see, this is what you get. And sometimes you'll have to get in here and trim and make it a little neater. Now this one was a little warped. That was not me. That was the bag. So sometimes you have to go through your bags and figure out which ones you can use and which you can't. I've also got one of these little receipts. I sprayed it up. I put some mica spray on it. And then as I was stamping some of my items here, I stamped on this. My pile of goodies to use. Gosh, just showing you everything I'm going to use. It's going to take up most of the time. All right, this is going to be the piece I'm going to make in an accordion book. And it's going to be portrait style because that's the way it has to be with something I've got here. I think, yeah, the bags. The bags are making it where it has to be in this orientation. So I've got these that are a nice strong piece, and they're white on the back, but that's okay. We can always scuff some ink on them. But you're going to take these, and these will be on the top of our bags. And I'll show you how that's going to be assembled there. Now, these were index cards, which I thought I was going to put on the top of the bags, but they're flimsy. I needed something a little stronger because it's going to be used to pull. So that's what happened there. So I had to trim them down to size. All of these pieces, this is a 4.5 by 7, the wood. This piece that's going to go inside the bag is a 4.5 by 6 3/4. I figured that would fit the best if I cut it down. And then we have this, which will go inside the bag permanently. It's going to get glued in, is another 4.5 by 6 3/4. This will also firm up our bags, make it stronger. And on the back side of the bags, I'm going to have something like that. I did this before. It's just stamping. It's Field Notes, his stamp set, and I just went wishy-washy every which way, and I made a copy of it. I put it on a piece of coffee dyed paper, so it's got that color, and so that's going to be our back piece. That could still be written on because that's sort of light, But yeah, that's what I've got going so far. I'll probably go ahead and get this started, and I got to figure out what size I need. I think I wrote it on my little play paper here. And the bugs, this is going to be bug related. You can see over here the little strips that I cut off of the index cards. I stamped on them. So I'm going to be using some of those all throughout. And the little bugs that I stamped the other day on the maps, remember the maps? I'm going to use those. They're either going to be on some of the decoration inside of the book. It may be all over the front of the book. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do that. And I've got a few pieces and parts other than that. I've got some rub-ons back behind me here. I have this little number paper. I don't know if I'm going to use that. I have those little tiny curator pieces, which would go perfectly with this. So let's get started. Let me get over here, and I'm going to start scoring this. I believe it gets started at 4 3/4. You have 11 scores that are 1/4 inch apart. And then I'm going to end on the 7 1/4. That's the last score. All right, let me go over and do that. Okay, and what I was going to show you here, this is going to be my inside, because I like that. That's really pretty. And then it's going to have this on the outside. I never could figure out what to do with this. This is Tim Holtz paper. I can't remember which pad it came out of. But anyhow, I did my 11 scores, and it worked out perfectly. I'll have all these numbers down in the description box, so you won't get confused like I am. But instead of cutting it off at 7 1/2, which would have been the height of the book, I'm going to make a pocket down here. So I haven't decided exactly what kind of pocket, but I scored it at 7 1/2. And right now I'm going to cut out these score lines, and I'll get those out of the way. And then I'll start doing my little fan fold. Okay, and I made another decision. You could also score at 2 1/4 and make this like what I call a butterfly closure, where I'll do it like this, and then I'll fold it up like that. And then I'm going to put something in here that's going to hold the book shut. I've got a video on that, so I may show that or tag at the very end so you can watch how I did that. But, you know, you cut inside or on the outside of your scores here, and I got those out of the way. I've started folding. I knew this is going to be my inside, so I'm folding this way, and then I'm going to start folding back the other way. But this is the fiddly part. Now, sometimes you can get a ruler in here to help you, because you know where your line's at, and you can get that to help you fold and get it started like that, and then you'll put it down and mash it and burnish it, that kind of thing. And then you're going to go back again to another one and come back in. It's a little fiddly, especially with paper like this. It's pretty strong. I'm trying to, there we go. This is the way I'd want to do it. And you got to tweak it. It's one of those things you got to tweak. See, I'm not really lined up with the back piece. So it's kind of like how accurate you think you want to be. If you're going to be covering that back with something, lace, paper, you know, burlap, whatever, you don't need to worry about it, because you're going to hide it. And the important part is this inside where your little card or bag is going to rest. So now we got to go back this way and bend it back again. But you get them started, and then you can get in here and start gluing if you wanted to, see if that would help you to get these out of your way, like that. But I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to do that. And I may go ahead and rub a bead of glue in here. Well, I'll wait until, I'll do a few of them, then I'll come back. How about that? Okay, I got it folded. The crazy thing. Mine was being cantankerous because I have a 1/4 inch folds. You usually don't do them that small. If you do, a 1/4. If you do a half, you don't have any of this trouble. But yeah, I first saw this on Scrapbooking with Me, I think, where they did little books with this. So anyhow, I got that folded. Now, the part you want to do now is to glue. And I'm fine with how my thing is lined up. It's not lined up very well, but I'm probably going to get in here and put something over it where you're not even going to notice it. So what you do is you'll take a bead of glue and go between each one of these and glue them together. So you've got a nice secure little booklet. Now I'm going to do 2, and then I'm going to squeeze them together. I'm using my art glitter glue. It'll be a nice firm hold. You just wanted to make sure that your 2 ends are kind of even, and mine are. And I'm going to do this to burnish it, because that'll make that glue go in even better, this paper. There we go. Let's see if I can work my way to the next section. And you just do this all the way down. Okay, as you can see, this is what you end up with. See, it's a nice little spine. It opens right up. You want, just like I said, you want to make sure that your edges match is the only thing. Now, with doing what I'm doing, this is kind of distressed and grungy and all that. And this is how your inside will look. You have 5 of these little pieces that stick up. You have 5 that go inside, and that was 6 that would stick outside. So that's how you would know the difference. And, yeah. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and prep our little tunnel closure here. And I'm going to actually go in a bit and cut some extra out, because I don't want it to interfere with anything else I might have going on inside here. Here, see if I can cut that a little straighter. But yeah, you always want to cut away a little bit on your, I guess, your ditches, your scores and stuff. We're just going to free the spine up a little bit by doing this. I hope everybody's doing well. I forgot to say that. I'm always getting right into it. I had a warning on my phone this morning. Now, I live in Virginia, and kind of halfway down, next to West Virginia. So anyhow, I had a warning about the wildfires, and that the quality of the air was not going to be good because of that. Me and Mom went out Monday, you know, and she looked at the mountain line. There's this one place we can drive through on our way to town, and you can see the whole mountain range over there going to West Virginia. And it was very hazy. And you know, I don't know what the devil would have been causing that. At that time, I didn't know about the wildfires, but that must have been what the cause was. And yeah, they said air quality would be low, and there you go. Mom's outside planting trees. She's got COPD. That woman, you can't keep her down. I don't know what it is. She has been a hard worker ever since she was young. But she loves her plants and her trees. Boy, does she. Now, I did not glue the inside of that closed, but that's okay. But this is the gist of the tunnel closure. You have an opening here, which I'm going to show you. It's like a little U-shaped guy that's going to go in it, and it's going to go in on each side. But I've also got a pocket. So that's a little idea for you there. If you've never seen one of these, I think I come up with it. I've not seen anybody else have this idea. And I did it with butterflies, because the holder part had a butterfly on the top of it, on each side, to kind of hide what it was, you know. So, anyhow, I call it the butterfly tunnel closure, because it makes a little tunnel. But it's a good idea if you don't want to, you know, do all those ties that everybody does, and you don't want to wrap it with a scarf or put a hole in it. To do, you know, the eyelets, any of that. If you don't want to do any of that, this is a great idea. Now, I know I've got this crazy thing showing on the pocket here, but I can cover that with my paper that I've got. I can either do that, or I've got this behind me. Where is it? I'm actually going to use this for my cover. this is that craft paper that I had when I was doing the bugs. And I did the bug, what I call those, snippet strips. So I want to see how that looks because that's nice and grungy. All right, so basically our book is done. Our book is done. If you want to put some clamps on it, like here, I'll clamp it like this. I got me some clothespins. And that'll just train it while I'm doing this other stuff. And what we want to do is we want to prep our pieces of items that are going to go inside everything. Now those I'll wait. This goes inside the actual pocket, so I'll put these down below. This is part of the decoration. So I can put these in the pockets. And these were the 4 1/2 by 6 3/4. I didn't care what color it was. It just needed to go inside. I may even have to cut them down. I don't know. We're going to see what happens. This will be a first. I may even round the corners on these. I don't know. Let's test it out. Is it too wide? Now, if it's something that will hold the shape, that's excellent. Now, that corner's a little wimpy. So we may have to cut that corner kind of down. I should have got my rounder over here, but we'll do that for now and see if that helps. So all we want to do is glue this down to the bottom. All right, I think overall it needs to be just a hair thinner. Just a hair. It's not going to be that visible down in here, so you don't have to be that neat with it. It's because, you can see how the bottom is. It's just wimpy. The whole bag is wimpy. So yeah, that helped it. It needed to be a little bit narrower than 4 1/2. That is what I had on there, right? Yeah. So now what we're going to do, we're going to smear well, might want to shore up a few of these pieces that are flying in the wind there. Just so you had a little extra to hold them down. There we go. That's good. Now, we're just going to smear some glue. It doesn't even have to be all the way to the outside. Just kind of here, there, and everywhere. Because once it's in here, I don't think you're going to get it out. Warning. Warning, Will Robinson. There we go. There. That's good. Then you just want to make sure it folds shut again. You don't want to have hindered that ability. That's what we want to keep. Yeah. Now you can get in here and you might want to retrain your little bag. Just refold it so it knows where it needs to be now. It's like a child. You have to guide it with a helping hand. Oh, okay. I think that's good enough. So we're going to do that with every one. Okay, I got all of those done. All the brown is inside. I've also went ahead and cut my craft paper down and stuck it to the back. There was 2 that has this on it. And then there's 3 that has some of that stamp-off paper that I had done the other day with the bugs. So that's on the back of these. I've also went around all of them with some vintage photo oxide to help warm it up. I wanted to keep some warm tones in here because I do have some hard tones. The next step will be to get these prepped. And these are going to be inside of here. And I do have to make sure that these are going to fit. They were a 5x7 index card. And I had to cut them down a bit to get them in here. I think I cut them down to 4 1/2 by 6 3/4. And yet again, it's a little on the tight side. So I'm going to have to go down a little bit more. Is it tight on both ends? Now, the top and bottom's fine. I've just got a little bit of the width to take off. And it may take 1/4 of an inch just to clean that up. All right, let me take care of that. Okay, our next step is to prep our cards here. And I've taken the larger, the 7mm, and I'm cutting off the edges. We just don't need them. So our piece ended up being 6 3/4 by 4 1/4. So we're good with that. I got a little guy here on the end that doesn't want to let go. There we go. And then what we want to do is we want to go around with some vintage photo to finish our edges. Keep with our grungy look. Do our corners real good because that enhances them. And this is going to be an element for them to write on. This is part of their journal. So, you know, there doesn't seem to be that much room in this to journal on, but there is. You can do both sides of this. And you can also write on the back of some of these here. You can actually write on that if you wanted to. But the plain ones are very easy to be written on. Plus, I can put more of these in there. I mean, who's to say? They don't need just one journal or index card in there. Now, what I figured, I had some extra of these tabs left over, you know, from my tab-bound fairy journal. So, I have a few extra that I could use for this. And the reason I'm doing this is so they don't have to get in there and dig. You know how they'll do some battery packs where that lowest battery, there's like a ribbon down in there that's under it and you lift that ribbon? That's the same concept. So I have all 5 of these ready. I don't think there's going to be anything else that's done to these because they're going to be inside, not really visible. And we want to save all the room for the writing. So those are ready. They can be set aside. And these are needing to be finished here. I believe this video is going to be the construction and the decorating. I'm sorry to say. I've got all these decorations and stuff out here. I don't think I'm going to have time. It's almost a half hour in. But this here is some of my gorgeous wood paper I got. I think it was Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure it was Hobby. Yeah, Paper Studio. It's called, what is it called? Cardstock Pack Wood. That's all it says. Okay. But there's 5 different colors. And I love it. I use it for a lot of things, mail-oriented or whatever. The purpose of this, I got to figure out which side is my, yeah, that's my outside on this side. So this is going to be going against the spine here. So what I want to do is I want to put this down over top of this whole thing on the left side. I'm going to glue this whole piece here and put this on here. Now, I didn't realize that this side was like that. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to just rub me some vintage photo. I'll kind of just smear it all over. If you would rather go with a piece of tea-dye paper, you can do that. But since I got me a nice new vintage photo pad and a ground espresso pad, I'm going to just do like this and cover it. It'll get the job done. Then I'm going to enhance my edges a little better because you will see this part. The part you won't see is what's glued. So, how's this for inking for you, Phyllis? My cousin Phyllis prefers when I ink, so I have to save a little inking just for her. Okay. Now, since I know this is the glue inside, I'm going to get in here with some Bearly Arts and glue that down. And yes, I will get this thing together before stopping it. And I will have another video. It'll be the pleasurable one. The putting together, you know, is always... Oh, and it was so time consuming on the prep. This is the video. I think I mentioned it before. I have been putting this video off for days. I'm telling you, days. Because I knew it was going to be so much to it, and it was going to drive me batty. And it sort of has. Now, I think your bags are going to always be a little off, so if your papers are a little off, don't worry about it. I think I'm fine. I'll just get back in there with a little vintage photo, just like that. And see, it's hiding it. Nobody's going to see it. There we go. Now, if you'd rather go around the whole thing with the vintage photo, just in case you got parts, yeah, I might have to do that. Because, look, there's a part right here that's sticking up. You can always cut this a little smaller if you choose, but the purpose of this, and that now this is where this comes in, the tab. Now, this is going to be stuck in your journal, and it's going to be glued down on this back side right here to those little tabs that stick out in the journal. And what it is, it's going to be held down and it's going to open just like that. That's the whole idea here anyway. Now, if you'd rather round the corners, I might do a gentle round. I might have to go back over it with a little ink, but yeah, I think I like that better. I don't like it pointy. It's just my preference. I mean, you might like it pointy. So this is the little pieces that I did. I did a number on one side and a word on the other side. And so we're going to get in there and we're going to glue that down. And I'm going to make it to where it goes down the page or down each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like a file folder. My whole idea behind this is a little entomologist guy's notebook. He can write his notes in there. He can put his bug samples in here. I mean, I might have some extra bugs I can put inside, like in here or on the back side, you know, to dress it up a little bit more. So, yeah. Oh, that blends in really nicely with that wood. Now, I did have a few that were lighter, but I don't think it'll hurt. It won't hurt. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that cute? Now, I'm going to be doing that for each one, and I'm going to go down in succession where that tab will be. I'll be right back. Okay, what do you think? I got them a little bit out of order. I went and put that one, or this one with the first one, and I made it in a little too far, but I think it'll be okay, since it's the first one. They're sort of even. Okay, now what we're going to do now is put them in the book. We're going to take our clips off. Our book is nice and sturdy now and together. And all we have to do is, I think I'll go backwards. So we'll put this here. I will put a bead of glue around the back side there. And then it goes on here just like that. And it's going to go right in that little crease. And you want to center it, I would think. So let's do that. Oh, I put my pen in my glue, which was a good thing. I've been hearing some thunder out there, so I'm telling you, my ponds need a little bit of filling up, so I will be happy if it rains. Might have a few wet kitty cats. I got the door open, though. They can get inside if they want. Bobby, she's hard to get in. She's a bobcat, so she likes the outside. All right, let me see, about right here. I'm going to push it in and then adjust it, and then I'm going to put it down. Just make sure you're kind of straight up and down, and then push it down. I think you've got a little bit of room for adjustment here, just a little bit. If you had a 1/4 inch, I mean, since this is a 1/4 inch, you don't have too much room. But if you had a 1/2 inch, oh, you'd have all kinds of room. Leave it to me to make it hard. But I couldn't make it work any other way with 5 bags. Not for a 12 inch, you know. That's what I had to go with, a 12 inch piece of paper. So, you know. You live, you learn. Now, if you wanted to do maybe 3 bags, and then do a 12 by 12, that would work probably pretty good. All right, I just don't want to get outside of my limits there. Put that in. You just got to slide them in real careful. If you're a little off, who cares, you know? This is supposed to be grungy. It's rough. It's I think I got that side not in far enough. Yeah, there we go. It's homemade. I'm telling you, oh boy. Like I said, this is Thursday I'm filming. It's the only free day I had. Mom had me out she had me out Monday, she had me out Wednesday for doctor's visits, and I'm her taxi. So tomorrow's her birthday, so we'll be going out then. So this is my filming day to get a few more made. But gosh, what was I going for? Oh. So yesterday I went by the shop. I had made 2 more of those recipe journals. A little different in style, but I had used that Cartabella paper. I have a video on it if you want to see how I made those. I show how I did the cover and what I had put inside of it as well. But anyhow, oh my gosh, this one woman had been wanting the recipe journals, and she didn't get the first one. She bypassed it. So she got this one. Or actually, she got both. I hadn't even been there and got home. And Natasha is texting me and says, your journals are selling. And then I said, what, already? I said, how'd she know? She said she watched the Instagram, or she does these posts on Facebook. So anyhow, the woman must have been watching. Boy, she watching. She came and got them. Got both of them, too. She didn't just get one. So those were, I'll say $54 each. That's what they were. Then, I'm still back here working on, piddling on things. Then she comes and contacts me again and says, you've got another journal selling. This one was the Daisy journal with the little girl's face. Now, that one had been there a while. It had been there since March. Because I think it was one of the first things I had taken in, because I thought the little girl's face was beautiful. And I did a lot of work inside of that. Well, I do a lot of work in all of them, to tell you the truth. But anyhow, that one was $148. So it sold. I was so happy, so happy. Sorry, I had to shut the door. My husband, he's coming home. I've been filming this thing for a couple hours now, I guess. Lord have mercy. Where's the time go? Alright, let me see if I can get that one in there. See if it gets in there good enough. Yeah, I'm pretty even. I just wanted to be even all around. And then we have, make sure all those stay in there. This is glue that really glues fast, so we're good. I just got to make sure I don't rush it though. Okay, see a little bead of glue back there. I don't think it's glued in yet. Tell you what, I'm going to clamp this. I'm going to clamp it down for a few minutes and gather up the rest of my goodies. Okay, set that to the side. Now, I have these 2 pages for the outside to cover up all this. I don't want the typewriter and all that on there, but I don't mind if a little bit of it shows. I think I've cut this a little too big, so I'm going to have to adjust that. And I don't mind that it's kind of ripped. I wouldn't mind to have it ripped, but I guess I'm not going to get that. Let me see what I can do here. Whoop. See how that did. That's not bad. I like that because it kind of hangs over and kind of hides that. I wouldn't mind in that as much as I was not wanting it to go over that way. Alright, let's see what we can do with this one. So, I think I will fold that and rip that as well. Let's see what I get. There. Now, take these off. That should be dry by now. Should be. Okay. And these are just going to be our base papers because we're going to decorate over top of this. We're not leaving it like it is. Okay, so let me put my glue on here. But of course, that's going to be in the next video. I just wanted to get this together first, and then we can play. Okay, let me get that down. And I'm going to line it up with the back of the book. Let that little bit of pointy hang over. I like that. Going to rub this down. Yeah, that'll be a perfect surface to have all of our goodies on. Of course, our little guy, he's going to go on here. I've got other little words, some clocks. I've got all kinds of stuff up here. Plus the items that I cut out. That's going to get decorated all through here. Now, this will go on the back side. And then I have a little bit of this left over with the white. And that's what I'm going to cover these with. Because I don't want that showing. So that'll go here. Plus we'll decorate these up as well. And then we have a pocket for something. So there, I think there's a lot of journaling room in here. We're going to decorate up the front of these. And this is how it does. It opens up. And, oh, what did I do with those? Oh, here we go. Here are our little index cards that are going inside. And they'll go in just like this. And see, you leave that little tab sticking up there. That'll fold easily. It doesn't get in the way or hinder anything. Let's see. Then we'll open it up and we can pull it out just like that. That's the way that'll work. Now, I'm not exactly crazy about that. So, and it might need a little bit of support, especially with McDonald's on there. So I'm going to go back over this as well with some more of this paper. So that is all I'm going to do for today. I really appreciate you putting up with me and seeing what I was doing. And we will get back to this in the next video. We are going to decorate it. Decorate it to the hilt. But it's the little entomologist's journal. That's what we're calling it. Entomologist's paper bag bottom journal. So thank you. Thank you all my subscribers and watchers and viewers. And everybody have a great, great day. And I'll see you again. Bye-bye.